I just helped this player, and this player completely transform their offense in Madden 26 by simply implementing one of the top 3 offensive playbooks in the game. Whether you're tired of getting stopped every drive or simply want to spam trick plays to force more rage quits, I've got you covered in this video. So let's jump right into it. The first playbook I want to break down is the best trick play playbook to force more rage quits and score one-play touchdowns. Let me introduce you to the Panthers playbook. All right, so if we come first here into motion double pass from Bunch Strong Nasty, this really is the little trick play here that everyone loves to talk about, where if you can get these guys to dumb out, it's just an easy lob touchdown over the top. I would recommend calling this probably inside the 50 and maybe having a guy who can throw a little bit. I mean, like, realistically, no receiver can really throw like a quarterback, but you're noticing how Leggett, like, it's gonna be wide open, right? Now, it's not gonna be wide open every time, especially if they like pass commit. I think that can stop this. But like, that's the point of a trick play. They don't know it's coming, so you don't necessarily want to telegraph it, but you are noticing how time and time again, it's going to be wide open. And when it's wide open, you can just throw I mean, it's a bullet, but he's going to lob it because he has no throw power. But it's like, it's so wide open that it really doesn't matter. A couple things I don't recommend doing is, I mean, you could throw that, but it's like, why would you when you have that pass over the top, unless they're going to user it, right? Because here's the thing. They could see, if they know, like right here, like right now, they might know the play's coming, and so they might get back there and use it, like right here, where they don't give it up. But like Leggett, he still has a little bit of an arm, so he can still hit that underneath pass, right? So it's like, you don't, if it's covered, like if the fade is guarded, don't throw the fade. But also, like, I mean, Leggett has a little arm too. I mean, he can throw a little bit. So it's like, that's what I mean, where if it's wide open over the top, just hit the over the top pass. No reason to hit the underneath one. Right here, it's like they give it up. And so, and very rarely will he miss that pass, and so you're just able to, you know, throw a possession or a possession catch it in the end zone over the top. Kind of a simple play. A couple other things. I wouldn't really hit this check down to number 5 right here. They normally guard that pretty well, and I also wouldn't take off. The only thing I would do is hit that backside dig to X or hit the fade. So we go through it one last time so you can see. But it's like, if they don't know this play's coming, it's going to be extremely difficult for them to stop. Also, be ready for them to switch stick if they do, and then you would probably just hit your backside dig, or sometimes you just have to throw it away. But another great trick play here from the Panthers playbook is cheat tight end double pass, right from pistol. It's pistol tight wide off flex. So we're gonna take this snap right here. This is a much less common trick play, and so I would say your opponent's much less likely to know it's coming, but it's just a backwards pass, and then you just have to be ready to hit that. Now, that's an example of where they take it away, right? They take it away, they don't fall for the fake, and so you don't want to take those huge sacks. Also, don't throw the ball down the field if it's covered. Like, if they are actually guarding it, do not throw anything. You only want to throw it when they actually give it up. So that's an example of one where you don't just want to force it over the top because you don't have a quarterback throwing the ball, right? It's your tight end. So like, these trick plays, yes, they're cool, but if you're doing dumb stuff like trying to throw crossers with a tight end, it's not going to work. Also, when they run man coverage, it's not really going to be great for you because that man's just going to follow and take it away. So it's like, yes, it's a trick play. It's not really designed necessarily to work every single time. You know, I would say the Bunch Strong Nasty one is probably a little bit better here, but we're gonna read it right here. This is an example of where, I mean, it's open over the top, but our quarterback has a super weak throwing motion. So, I mean, it's a trick playbook, like it's supposed to be kind of for fun. Now, the Panthers actually, like, there's some other plays in here that are good, right? But this is another example of where if they run man coverage, you don't throw it. So, what you really need to understand here with this play is, like, you're trying to read their defense, get a look. I would never call this play versus man, just because their guys will just follow and take the pass away. So this is going to be zone, so we're going to throw it, and you're just going to notice how that time it's going to be wide open over the top. So it's really just going through the progression, reading if they're in man or zone. Okay, cool, they're in zone coverage, I'll call it, right? But then it's reading, okay, do they actually commit down and bite for the fake? If not, throw the ball away. Do not force it because you do not have a, you know, quarterback throwing. Right here, they give it up, and so we have it over the top for a touchdown. So really, bottom line with that play, it's a little bit harder than the first one, but you're still reading man or zone, and then you're just gonna decide, do these guys commit down or do they give up the touchdown? Alright, so if you enjoyed that Panthers breakdown with the best trick plays, again, make sure you go down below, hit that subscribe button, because I break down the best money plays, cool one-play touchdowns every single day on this channel, and you don't want to miss out on anything I have for you. But let's jump into those next two playbooks, because this next one I'm about to show you is the best passing playbook in the game from the Jaguars. There's so many plays that are good from the Jaguars, but let me break down two of the best right now. Alright, so the play here is going to be cross wheels from gun tight doubles. Now, as I tell you guys all the time, we're getting into real passing plays now, not necessarily trick plays. So this is an everything beater. The way that you're going to set it up is you're going to put your tight end on shriek, and I would block my running back, right? So it would look something like this, or you could put like your running back on an in route. You could leave him on his wheel. It's really going to be up to you. But this is a play that's designed to beat every defense, just going through the read progression, right? So your first read is going to obviously be your drag. Now, right there, I had it open. I just didn't hit it, right? So, but you never want to do that, right? If the drag's open, I'm showing you for the video, but it's like, if this is the game and I call this play, if the drag's open, I'm hitting it every time. Then I'm going to my second read, which is going to be my wheel route. Then my crossing route's the third read, and then the fourth read would just be taking off with the quarterback. So right here, we step up in the pocket, and we're just going to notice how we're going to have that, crossing route over the top, and so it's going to be an easy touchdown. The most important thing with a play like this is actually stepping up in the pocket, so you actually can hit your reads down the field. Like, for example, I put my running back on an in route, stepping up in the pocket, because now I'm able to find that dot down the field. Now, drops are a thing, right? But it's like if I drift too far back in the pocket and then try to hit this crossing route, right? So right here, I'm going to take this snap, and then I'm going to drift too far back. Now that pass to B is wide open, but now when I go to throw it, the pass gets sailed out of bounds and over the top. So even though we're calling a play that's fantastic against every single defense in the game, you still have to maintain good habits and have good pocket presence. Now, this looks like an obvious man coverage tell, so I wouldn't even put my tight end on a shriek. I would just leave him on a drag and allow for us to use our mesh concept, because we have the best speed booster in the game after the catch, Brian Thomas Jr., and so you can really turn a 2-yard gain into a 15-20 yard pickup down the field. So like I said, this is an example of play where you're never going to go backwards. That's the goal. You never want to take sacks. You never want to throw interceptions. You're really trying to throw to wide open players every time, and then you're just going to be able to reap the benefits of it. Now, we'll go through here. Boom, take this snap one last time, and we're going to step up. And that's an example of where they put us. I didn't even see that coming. But it's like, that's an example of like a 2-yard sack. Why pocket presence is such an important skill to master, but we step up in the pocket right here, and that's an example of where we have it open, we just don't have time. But it's like, you're still stepping up in the pocket. So we go with this play one last time here just to showcase it. We have our man underneath, and if they give it to us, we hit it, and so that would be an example of a time where we can rip off a huge gain simply because we're going through our read progression. But let me show you another great play from the Jaguars offense. And that's going to be verticals from trips tight end. So what we're going to do here with this is we're going to just put our running back on an angle route. An example of another play really that can beat every defense in the game. You kind of just have to make the determination to make the read. This is really one of my go-to quick snap plays. If you've seen me play on Twitch, or if you've seen me play here on YouTube with some of the gameplays that we do. But it's like, this is not a this is just, we're not reading the defense. This is a play that we know that can beat every defense in the game, and so we just have to go through our progression. The first read is going to be the running back, then the tight end, and then we're really looking to one of our 3 verticals, right? If they run cover 2, obviously this just looks like a cover 3 look. So, oh no, they're in cover 2 invert, and so we're just gonna have that fade down the field. So it's like, it looked like cover 3 but that's what cover 2 invert does. But it's like, that's why it's still important to go through the read progression and look at all of your routes. I mean, you have to scan the field very quickly. This is obviously going to be man coverage, and so we're going to look to our tight end, who's going to have that outside leverage and being able to get out to the sideline very quickly. So another example of play where you're not trying to take sacks, you're not trying to do any of that, and it's like right here, oh my gosh, he just baited me so bad. That dude did not look like he was in a 3-rep hook. But that's also why you never throw across your body. But we take it again right here. They're going to give us the wide open seam, and so we're just going to hit it for an easy touchdown. So it's like, when they're in cover 2 is the worst defense ever against this play, but you're seeing it how they're in random defenses right now, and we're still having guys wide open, right? So again, all you're doing, running back first, then tight end, and then you're really looking to your 3 verticals. You're able to see right here where they're in cover 2 on that side, and so we just have an easy pass lead towards the sideline to our outside receiver. So Jaguars playbook, the most high octane passing playbook in the game, really with verticals and with that cross wheels play from tight doubles, both plays that can beat every defense in the game. All right, so clearly you clicked on this video because you're trying to get better on offense and learn the best playbooks in the game, and I'm giving it to you right here, and I will continue to give it to you. Go down below, hit that subscribe button. I break down offensive tips and tricks just like this every single day. You don't want to miss out on any of the content that I have. But if you want my full Jaguars offensive ebook with the best one-play touchdowns, money plays, we go through the write-ups, videos, screenshots, everything you're going to need to dominate an offense from the Jaguars playbook. Go to the link down below in the pinned comment. You can grab it today by using code YouTube to get 20% off. Literally the most high-octane passing scheme in the game right now, and you're really going to want to check this out. But let's jump into that final playbook, which is going to be the most toxic offense in the game with toxic runs and one-play touchdowns. Let me introduce you to the Bears playbook. All right, so we're going to come into escape here from gun number Y up close. We're going to put our tight end on a shriek. We are going to block our halfback right here. And so this is a one-play touchdown against this defense right here. They're giving you the obvious single high safety look. And so you're just going to take the snap, try to get time to throw, and then you're just going to have that S post running over the top. Obviously, having a quarterback with high throw power like Caleb Williams is going to make this a whole lot easier to actually, throw that pass over the top. But you're just going to notice how, boom, you see, we have time to throw. We block our running back too. And so this is the key. This corner route, he's going to pull this outside third down and outside towards the sideline, and then he's going to open up the one-play touchdown S post over the top. Also having the shriek on the field is going to hold the inside third in his place, and that's going to allow you to throw that pass over the top. So really a fantastic, one-play touchdown, but also it's not always going to be that easy, right? Because there's going to be times where you're going to get shedded. There's going to be times where, they might be in a different defense. Now, if they run cover 2, it's like this is still going to work. The reason why is because a lot of people like to user this mid-read defender, and so they don't get all the way back there with their user to defend this S post. It's not like they're just going to be done for. So again, we're going to take the snap, we're going to step up in the pocket, and we're going to have that S post down the field. Anytime you're in that situation, you need to make sure you're speed boosting after the catch to really make sure that you can get away from some of these defenders and score. Like on this play right here, where it's like I catch it, he's right there to tackle me, but right here I speed boost away from him, dumb out his pursuit angle, and then instead of being on 1st and goal from the 7, we have a touchdown, right? So that's just important after the catch stuff. But it's the same thing where this is a deep half. We're able to pull him down and hold him really outside. We don't really move him down, but we keep him outside, which opens up the middle of the field even more, and so we're able to score a touchdown. Also realize that there's going to be times where you get shedded. Right here we have plenty of time to throw, but if we do get shedded, we certainly can hit this little backside dig if it's open. But like I said, cover 2, cover 3 defense is one of the best one-play touchdowns that you should really save for when they give you obvious cover 3 looks just like this one. But the other part of this toxic scheme that you need to make sure you're taking advantage of is going to be halfback direct snap from gun Y off tricks, because really this is the easiest run play here in this game, and it's the meta for a reason. All right, people will literally just call direct snap all game, every game, and they will get away with it because that's how good it is. Really, you're just trying to take advantage of your blocks. That's all you're trying to do, and you're trying to speed boost to get downhill, right? Boom, speed boost, get away from some of these guys. And so when you don't have a handoff animation, right, this play, that's the whole point. It's a direct snap to the halfback, so there's no animation to be slowed up. So you're going to get to the second level of the defense a whole lot sooner. And if you can hit some skill moves, if you have room to spin, juke, speed boost, right, those are all viable options. It really comes down to your guys winning their reps at the initial level, right, to give you room to run, because getting to the second level once you clear these initial guys isn't going to be that hard, right? Obviously having better running backs, Swift's good, but having in franchise mode, Gibbs, whatever it is, right, you have a really good back. This is going to be a whole lot easier to rip off big gains. Obviously having a good line, the Bears offensive line not really doing it for me right now. I literally have nowhere to run. But it's this is going to be a hard run for them to gap shoot as well. And so if they can't gap shoot the run, then I mean, you're just going to be running free. Like right here, this is a great example of a time where you can rip off a big gain because your guys actually block. So it's a run play, don't get it wrong. Like, I think that this is a great run play, one of the best in the game, but it's like you can't rely on a run play every single time. Like, you could pick up 3-4 yards of carry with this and probably pick up first downs up and down the field, but it's like, you know, obviously building a complete offensive scheme for the Bears playbook, you know, like my Bears offensive ebook, obviously you're going to have good passing plays when you need it. So we go through it hopefully one last time. You can rip off another big run. But like I said, just a very toxic run play, right? And I'm not going to end on that, but it's like a toxic run play. Get downhill, make the game really easy for yourself. You know, sometimes passing the ball isn't, you know, exactly the greatest thing that you can do. You're just trying to run the ball downhill with a run like this and hopefully set up blocks really well and get downhill. You guys know how good this run is. The Bears offensive line sucks right now, and so maybe we go through one last time. Boom. Can we get out there? No. Okay. All right. Well, Bears offensive ebook. I mean, like, this playbook's really effective. Halfback direct snap, one of the best runs in the game. All right, so if you enjoyed that breakdown of the top 3 offensive playbooks, the best plays, money plays, one-play touchdowns, everything here in this video, make sure you go down below, hit that subscribe button. I break down the best offensive playbooks, give you guys free ebooks every single day. You don't want to miss out on any of the content I have. But like I said, if you want my full Jaguars or Bears offensive ebooks, you can go to the links down below in the pinned comment. Check them out. They both have the full videos, write-up, screenshots, and they're both super comprehensive to make scoring points on offense really easy. They're the best schemes in the game right now for a reason, and you don't want to miss out on them. But if you want to see my Jaguars offense in a live action gameplay against a real opponent, check out this video right here. I'll see you over there. Peace.